But of course still the minor climb before the last little run into town. What a day this has been. Just 4.6 kilometers now of the day remaining. Tobias Zvara at the back after a sterling move a little bit earlier on. Still foldovers. Matt, we're going to have a sprint.
It looks that way, and I just noticed there Oscar Onley followed Enric Mas over the top of the climb, and when he got there, Mas moved across, and Onley has been quite aggressive this race. Didn't choose. Here goes Remco Evenepoel though. Has
to do so. It's now open season, and he's going to go for it. This is and he looks and he tucks as if to say, "Come on!" He was waiting for Lipovic to be on his wheel there. He'd like to guide Lipovic to a very good finish. He's like, "Come on! You know what the battle plan is." Lipovic comes up and over the top, and Evenepoel looks as if to say, "You knew what the plan was, where were you?" Now Lipovic is doing the same. Come on then. And Evenepoel saying, "No, not at this juncture. That was the plan. You should have been on my wheel." He's getting a bit narky in old Yorkshire.
What I can see at the moment, though, Colton, is I don't think Dorian Gordon has made this group. I keep seeing Oscar Onley looking over his shoulder just to see where his sprinter is. Now, the fact that they're not racing full in front, it's all a little bit tactical. He's going to play into the hands of the chase group.
But at the moment, I think he's just about getting on. Looks like the big figure is looming in part of that second group, just trying to stitch this back together. 3 kilometers out here, Matt, and guess what? Who's out front? None other than our race leader, Jonas Vingegaard. He might just fancy this and go.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. Dorian Gordon now has just tagged on. He's come around the outside, just close to that truck that was parked all through the race, and he's put himself back towards the front group there. So descended really well, and he's now come back. Now we see it also attacking on the other side from the rider from Movistar. Oscar Onley just tagging that now. They're going to ride for a sprint here.
Well, it was clearly Remco Evenepoel had a duty, which was to go over the top with Lipovic on his wheel. He wasn't there. Got a bit upset that the battle plan, which had been clear on the truck, but clear on the truck is very different for clear downstairs, and it's now Lipovic that's actually doing the driving. Looking further back through this group. We're going to have ourselves a bit of a spectacular sprint finale here. Waiting to see if Godon has thrived. There he is. He's about wheel 12. You can see his helmet just bobbing and weaving, trying to get back in here. Got a few aqua helmets in front of him, one of which now comes to the fore for Bahrain Victorious. Let's see who else has got something to play today. And finally, Remco Evenepoel is coming back now. He may well offer up a wheel for his teammate Lipovic if they get their battle plan over the final climb. But we've only got 2.1 kilometers to go, and in fact it's descending time that's going to start to loom very, very large in our minds. In fact, it's the sprint for home right now. Who's going to get up for this one? Oh, you know, Evenepoel is in wheel 5 at the moment. He's got Vingegaard just on his back wheel. There's a few others want to come and join the fun. Can Dorian Gordon take a big step forward on this drive down? He's kind of survived it, but has he left anything behind here, Matt?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he has in the tank. This sprint is always very, very fast when it comes as a group. So at the moment, I would say Florian Lipovic is riding to look after Remco Evenepoel and see if Evenepoel can do anything in the sprint. Oscar Onley has just slid back. He's picked up Dorian Gordon now, who is on the wheel. We see more riders from Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe trying to move forward here. So the GC riders now, they're inside the sprint zone. So if anything happens, they keep the same time on the general classification. So now we're looking for a sprint, and Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe bringing Remco Evenepoel to the front of the race, ready for this downhill sprint.
They are, and this is going to have to be a very, very brave call by Remco Evenepoel. He's having a quick look-see up the inside, doesn't want to go for it just yet. Guess who's staying with him? It's the leader of the Young Riders classification is also in the frame here. Lenny Martinez not to be outdone. He'll have some kind of option by the end of this one, but Remco Evenepoel looks very, very handy. Can't see Dorian Gordon just for the time being, but he suddenly moves up to about wheel 7. Gordon, he's on the back of his teammate. Onley's doing a fantastic job of guiding him in. Just around about the 300-meter mark is where we will start to make the big turn for the line, and they're absolutely mobbed together. They're not all going to fit through this corner. Here comes Gordon, just tied on the inside. It's going to be Gordon versus Remco Evenepoel. Evenepoel goes over towards the barriers. Gordon picks it up dead centre. Here he comes with those rainbow stripes. He's going to be on the throw here. This is absolutely outstanding. Who's going to get there on the line? Oh, on the throw. My goodness, it's a steal at the very last. Brilliant work, I've got to say, at the out of absolutely nowhere for Anything Cycling at the line. They threw it at the line. My goodness, all eyes, including ours, were of course on Godon versus Evenepoel. We're going to have to see that again. But what a steal at the end here, man. Goodness